Hi, so a lot of you guys asked how I edited this picture. I posted it on Instagram around a month ago. It's pretty cool, I gotta say. I'm pretty proud of this. Most of you guys, some of you live here in Jakarta, and you said the bridge does not look like this at all. It doesn't look like this at all. I edited it pretty much a lot, and I'm going to quick edit it, maybe a 5 minutes edit, just so you guys know what I did with this picture. I'm not going into the details. You can find detailed tutorials on YouTube somewhere else. A lot of people made it already. So first of all, I shot this with my Sony A7 II, and the lens is my friend's Nando. Shout out to him. I hunted with him and he bought his 1635 Sony Zeiss f4 lens, and that was the gear that I used to shoot this picture. So why I do this in Lightroom mobile instead of desktop, because most of you guys who asked how do I edit this picture is a non-desktop editor. Either you guys don't use Lightroom CC, Lightroom Classic from desktop, you don't use Photoshop and all, you just edit on your phone, just wanna have your pictures look good, and that's really fine. You can download this application, which is Adobe Lightroom CC, for free on Apple iOS and Android. So let's get into the tutorial. So first thing first, I always adjust my exposure, scrub a little bit until it's easier for me to edit. This is fine 1.1. The rest, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks, I rarely touch them first because the image is looking pretty good. For the contrast side of things, we just go directly into the HSL. The HSL is here on the color panel. And go into the mix. HSL stands for hue, saturation, luminance, and immediately I know that how this picture will look after I edit it. Before I even shoot the picture, I already imagine how the picture will look like after I edit it. That's just how I work. So now just go to the blue. This is Accu, my bad. Just go to the blue and just play with the slider until you were fine with it. In this case, I already knew that I was going to edit the purple into blues. Not in this video, but in my original picture, I already knew that this picture is going to be better looking in blue. So without further ado, just saturation, make the blue pop more, make the blue brighter. You can see, just scrub around. If you don't understand what these does, I didn't too. When I first pick up Lightroom, you just scrub around until you're happy with the image, until you really think that, oh shit, I'm cool, I edited so good, like, pretty much that. Let's go to the purples. Since you see, purples are really annoying, it got left out from the blues, so just go to the leftmost, so it goes blended to blues. Saturations, play a little bit until you're fine with it. Luminance, you see there the difference with luminance. That's pretty much it. Oh, and the floor, I like it better that the floor are redder, more orange rather than yellow. It makes a nice contrast with the tail on the Helix. So play around with the saturations a little bit. Does it look good? Undo it. Luminance, bring it up. And I think that's pretty much it. So the blue are looking, never mind. The blues, I can make it maybe even less green, more to the blue side, and make it pop even more. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, moving on from the HSL, I forgot to tell you that you can always play around with the white balance. I usually do it after I play around with exposure. So previously it was 5800, and you can slide around and see what difference it will make. So basically, sliding it to the right will make the picture more yellow, the yellows more yellow, and the blue less blue, and vice versa to the left for the blues and the yellows, and the overall blue and yellows of the picture. The tints similar, but this time it's purple and green. You can try it out for yourself, but let's go with 5300 Kelvin around that to make the blues pop more. I really want to make the Helix pop. It's the main visual of the image. So getting back to the exposure, it's pretty dark. It's gonna ramp it up into 1.3. It's pretty good. Play around with the highlights. Not going to jump into details. Just play around with it. Basically, you know what it does. It highlights the brighter part of the image, shadows the darker part of the image. Play around with those. And notice that I left out the contrast. That's because I'm going to adjust it manually on my curves. So immediately I just want to add more contrast by adding more light to the highlights. Make the blues brighter, but it's too bright. So gotta make the shadows a little bit black. And it's looking pretty good. But I'd like to add some fade, so the bottom left, you just see for yourself, you just pull it right up and you see the shadows are getting more fade, giving it the Instagram look everybody's looking for. So maybe play around with the shadows a little bit until I'm happy with the picture. I think that's about it. So we've done the HSL, we have changed the exposure, we have shifted a little bit of white balance, and then we edited the curves. And as you can see, this was the before image and this is the after image. It's a lot, and some of you guys ask, my pictures getting broken, getting destroyed editing this much. That's because you're not shooting RAW. I forgot to mention, RAW, it means that it contains all the information that the camera is shooting. It's just way better for editing images like this, you know, from dark to light, you know, changing the purples into blues. You just a quick Google what RAW and JPEG has in terms of their benefits, their disadvantages, but generally JPEG are better because they are smaller in size. RAW files are 23 megabytes, 30 megabytes, even 50 megabytes per file. It's really tasking at a processor to handle if you don't have a really good computer or phone. Like, you don't have to have a fast one, but just have a decent one, you know. But that's about it. This was the picture. I know it's pretty different. It's quite different, in fact, but that's because I did tweak with this a little bit just before I posted on Instagram, on Photoshop, when I removed the buttons, when I, you know, just a little tweaks that I do to make me like my picture better. Yeah, it will not take 5 minutes just to make the perfect picture, to make the best picture of your gallery, maybe the one that you're proud of. But initially it's a quick edit, you know, it's just a quick run, and then I'll just leave it for a couple of days and then I'll get back to it. So hope you find this useful. Cheers.